Well, here with Jerome Illingworth and Luke Scott. And Jerome, I might start with you, a six-time A-grade premiership player. Where did life start for you at the Mowbray Cricket Club?
Quite a number of years ago, Rick. I guess my first recollection is probably as an 8-year-old or thereabouts. My dad was part of the club. He was third grade captain, committee member, life member as well. 8 years old, sort of up at, I guess, what I call the old Brooks ground, up at the university area there. As a family, our summers were spent around the Mowbray Cricket Club. The weekend up there with A-grade, watching the A-grade team. My father used to play over Sunday, and through the week as well, sort of at trainings, just tagging along. Probably being a general pest as a youngster, and just spending our weekends there through the summer. With other families as well. Saraches, good friends of ours. We used to spend our summers around the cricket club.
Luke Scott, for you, you've been part of the club, I think, since 2011. What brought you to Mowbray?
Just a couple of mates that I played junior footy with signed up to under 14s, I think, at the time, and they didn't quite have a full side, so the group message went out, and I come along to training and been here ever since. So.
You made your A-grade debut in 2014, premiership in 2016, but as we look at the boards here as well, we see El Scott. Must have been pretty proud for you to be a captain of this cricket club for 5 years.
Yeah, very special moment for me to take over from John. That group that I walked into had won four premierships in the couple of years before I got into the team. It was a great honour to become the club captain.
You embraced yourself in the club because you were heavily involved with the committee as well in different various roles. What do you love about Mowbray?
I think it's just a passion for the people. Like, my family's very much embraced this club as well. Mum and Dad got on the committee pretty much straight away. And to me, that sort of meant, well, if they're going to embrace my cricketing, I might as well get on the committee and get involved and try and keep the club moving forward.
Jerome, we'll get you to talk about you as a cricketer as well. I know you obviously played with some great players. It was a successful year, 6 A-grade premierships, as we said. You're a life member. It's part of your DNA pretty much now, the Mowbray Cricket Club. But did you have a favourite premiership out of all of those? Or just talk us through that.
Yeah, wow. To be honest, I've never really thought about it. I think they, to be honest, they were each, when I think about it, they're each special in their own way. I was lucky enough to play in one as perhaps a 19, 20-year-old as the first one, and that being the first, was special. As Luke mentioned, we then had a bit of a spell, if you like, and then went on, formed a nucleus of a young team that went through together for a number of years, and then we had some success with 4 in a row, and to achieve 4 in a row was obviously pretty special. And each of those wins in those grand finals was different, they were equally as enjoyable. And then again a spell for a little bit, and then the last one, which was fantastic as well, because we sort of held a nucleus of some older guys, definitely, but we'd welcomed in some young fellas as well, which was really enjoyable to have them come into the fray and be important members of that team. So it was good sort of to start and then to finish off, and they're all a little bit different, but all equally important.
Luke, what are your memories of the A-grade premiership in 2016 that you were part of?
So I wasn't in the team at the start of the year.
Yeah.
And sort of had to work my way through the twos, and that was where these older guys really demanded that you raise your level. Ron Pooley was assistant coach at the time. I remember running a few laps with him, and he's like, you can get in this team, but you're going to need 4 or 5 scores in the twos to get in. I think that really brought us younger guys up to really pursue that flag that was there. So to get into a team with these guys is very special, and something that I look back on very fondly. And the passion in Jerome and John and Yab is something that we still try and carry today, and how we play our cricket. So.
There's a lot of father figures in this cricket club, isn't there? Because I'm not trying to pick on ages, you're right with Jerome, by the way, but like we've heard the stories like with Fontyn when he was just a kid, and the people that looked after him. It seems to be the same. You're talking through that experience as well, just getting the advice from people like Rowan Pooley.
Yeah.
How important was that in not only from a learning perspective, but that you took on board the advice you get from many different people that got you to that level?
Yeah, well, you didn't need to look very far to see that the guys that were talking to you knew what they were talking about. With five grand final wins, yeah, you sort of had to listen because they knew what they were doing. So it was take on board and do as we do.
Celebrations, 2016 A-grade premiership. Can you remember how that unfolded?
Yeah, so I was actually on trial at work, so I had to go to work the next day, which, yeah, got home in the early hours.
Did you arrive at work?
I arrived at work about half hour late.
On your first day?
No, I'd been there for about a fortnight. Mum had to deliver some mid-morning Maccas just to try and spark me up a little bit.
Did you survive and you passed the trial?
Yeah, we got through. Yeah, the boss come around and he was pretty happy with how the cricket went as well. But yeah, we got through.
I mean, you touched on it before. I think the strength of the club is having, you know, those sort of leaders and those stronger sort of players through each decade or through each era, if you like. I mean, when I grew up, to be honest, like the Mowbray Cricket Club A grade, they were my heroes. You know, like so. My summer was centred around wanting to go and watch them, and I, you know, I recall I perhaps was 8 or 9 years of age when I won a flag in I think 86, 87, and I still sort of recall being in the change rooms there and being showered with champagne as a youngster. You know, I had my autograph book and I, as a kid at that age, looked up to our A-grade guys. You know, the Richard Sewells, the Troy Cooleys, the Roger Browns. Wow, you know, Paul Barron, you know, Scott Plummer, I'll miss people, Andy Mannion, Clint Lasky, and you know, I'm lucky enough to play in over 40s with some of these guys now, so that's it's a great experience as well. You know, at the start of my A-grade career, I was fortunate enough to tail on to the end of some of theirs. You know, played some A-grade cricket with Richard Sewell and Troy Cooley, and as Luke sort of mentioned, those older heads, they were phenomenal. As a youngster coming into the team, you know, to have their support, have their backing, but more importantly, just to listen to their experiences in the change rooms. You know, the best part for me almost was still being in my whites at, you know, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, just having a couple of quiet beers and just listening to the stories. You know, that era was a bit more about listening rather than speaking, particularly as a youngster. You sort of were almost told that your place was to speak and to listen and not so much speak unless you were asked to. But that in itself was a great learning experience. It was fantastic times, yeah.
Well, John LeFevre, 2001 to 2020 with the Mowbray Cricket Club. You're a former captain, part of your, just part of the family, really, aren't you?
Yeah, it really is, Rick. So I came to the cricket club after leaving school. I initially played for the St Pat's Old Collegians Cricket Club, and then my cousin Mitch was here, who had a little connection with the Sarich family, so decided I wanted to make the jump across to Mowbray. And then, yeah, been here ever since, really. So, yeah, big family connection for me. So my daughter was born when I was quite young, and she sort of grew up here, coming to cricket with me. So I've got lots of very, very good memories of being around the cricket club.
What did you enjoy from those early days when you were young, as you said, being around the Mowbray Cricket Club? What stood out for you that made you want to just stay here for so long?
Oh, initially just like reading the results in the paper, I always wanted to come to Mowbray, and then when I got the chance to come and play, we were going through a bit of a transition phase. So a few players like Tim Quill, Jeremy Fraser, Wayne Cooch, just to name a few, had moved on from the club, and I think Jerome was in the UK for a year early on. So we were quite a young team, and with that brought like mateship and friendship, and we'd spend lots of hours at the cricket club outside of cricket and cause a bit of havoc. But those are the memories that really stick with me, and really that group of players were able to stay together for quite a period of time, and obviously had a fair bit of success later on.
You went to play over 200 games, over 5,500 A-grade runs. You won 3 A-grade batting averages as well. Have you got any particular highlights from that? We'll get to your bowling shortly, John, but what about from a batting perspective? Any real highlights for you on a particular innings?
Oh, not individual innings, but I think the one innings that really sticks to mind is being out there when we won a grand final, and Jerome was batting with me at the time, and just to be able to be out there and win the premiership for Mowbray was a really good experience.
What are the premierships like when you know you're getting close, and said you're out there with your good mate Jerome, and when that final run is scored, what's it like?
Oh, it's a relief more than anything else. I was struggling a little bit. I wasn't scoring all that quickly, and we'd lost a few wickets, so there was a bit of pressure on. And Jerome came out and was a little bit more free flowing, and he actually hit the winning run. So I was just at the non-strikers end and able to just take the moment in, which was quite nice.
Your role as captain, what sort of skipper were you?
Oh, I'd like to think I was quite calm, but I don't think that was the case. I think I may have had a little bit of a reputation of being a little bit grumpy, but that sort of goes with the territory, I suppose. You're trying to do your best to win games of cricket for Mowbray, and at times you sort of lose control, but trying to maintain composure was a big thing. So hopefully I didn't come off as too grumpy, but I certainly had my moments, I believe.
Yeah, I don't expect you to remember your 5,500 plus runs and all of them, but you took 2 A-grade wickets, so I'm expecting that you've probably got some memories of those.
Oh, absolutely. So one was bowling fast medium pace, I would say. That was my first wicket. It was actually with my first A-grade ball, so just a little in-swinger that clipped the batsman on the pads, and a big appeal from everyone, and it was given. And then a couple of years later I was brought on late in the day of a 2-day match and just bowled a few off spinners and managed to get a caught and bowled. So that was, yeah.
Tell us a story, John, of when you actually had to finish an over for a teammate.
Yeah, so Justin Reeves, who was a bit of a fiery character, was bowling from the Foster Street end, and there were a few little interactions with the umpire. I think a couple of decisions went against Justin, and then he might have made a few comments back to the umpire, and the umpire, in his wisdom, told Justin to just get back and bowl. So Justin walked over and he was quite agitated. I just didn't feel like he could finish the over. I was a bit concerned about what could have happened, so I brought myself on just to finish. I think it was only 2 or 3 balls, but I didn't really get a lot of support from my teammates that day. No, there was a few people behind the stumps that weren't taking me all that seriously, so got through the over, and then that was it.
They weren't expecting much action behind the wicket from you coming in?
No, I was a bit older back then, and I wasn't quite at my best. I know I was underbowled throughout my career, I believe.
With your time here at the club, what did the club do for you?
Oh, well, really, I came here as a young person, just left school. I really just grew up here, basically. So a lot of role models. I still remember going out to bat, and I might have made a few runs this day, and I came back into the club rooms pretty happy with myself, and Stan Reid was sitting at the bar, and he sort of gave me a little bit of a dressing down and said it was quite irresponsible the way I got out, and I sort of let the team down. So people like that around the club, and Richard Sewell, Roger Brown, I know these names keep coming up, but you sort of learn so much, not just about cricket but about life, so it sort of shaped the person I am today.
So not putting you back in the box, Stan, was it more around some solid advice to...
Yeah, it was certainly solid, and I took it on board, and because he has a way where it was piercing. The way he said it just sort of resonates with me quite often. I think back to that moment, I thought, yeah, I got out and I let the team down, so Stan had no problem with letting me know. Can
you remember when Jerome hit the winning runs in that grand final? Did you just sprint off the ground? What did the next half hour look like?
Oh, it's a bit of a blur. I think we embraced a little bit and carried on, and I think I grabbed a stump or two, and then like the rest of the team came out, and it's that first half hour you just sort of embracing your teammates, you sort of like really getting around each other and just enjoying the moment. I think it's certainly the memories of those will live with me forever, so it's a really nice period of time, and it's sort of just your teammates, and then obviously a few people from around the club as well that get out there, and it's great to celebrate with those people as well.